I've heard you guys have not been the biggest fan of the games we've been playing. But what we're going to play is LandMine. Now, LandMine, if you're not familiar or if you forgot which one it is, we love trash cans here at Grace Commons. So it is a trash can game. It's the one where you have a trash can in the middle. You all link arms. See? This is already better. This is good. This is good. So, high school, you guys are going to be in the atrium tonight. Middle school, we're going to be in Erder, so we're going to be in the other room.
Series talking about dating. Let's all go on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Aww. Big old bummer. I know we had a great time. But we're in the middle of we're starting a new series called Made It for More. So what the whole purpose of the series is about how do we take what we know about Jesus and actually practice those things. Like, how many of you guys went to winter camp? Right? Raise your hand. It was fun, right? You had a good time. Woo! And the whole point was that you got the trophies are in the back. You can check those out later. The whole point is that you got to learn more about Jesus. You got to grow closer to Jesus. What do we do with that now? How do we live that out in our day-to-day life back here in Boulder, in middle school, in high school? So tonight, I'm talking about community. What does community mean for us today? So I thought I would just define what community is. It is, and I wrote it down, it's being with people, especially of the same interests or goals. So it's a choice, right? Community is whenever you guys are on a baseball or basketball team, right? If you're on volleyball or whatever, you've chosen to be on the team. You've chosen to gather yourself with other people on the team to play that sport. If you're in band or choir, you've chosen that. You're surrounding yourself with people that want to do that activity, and so you're calling it community. You're with other people. What it's not is, you know that like math class that you're like forced to be in, and you hate it, and your friends aren't in that class, they have like the 5th period and you're in 8th, and you're like, this is the worst. I didn't choose this, I don't want to be here, these aren't my friends. That's not community, that you're being forced there. What community is your small group, right? Y'all enjoy your small group? Whenever you circle up, you get to talk about what we learned here at church, and you get to go and have fun. What it's not is whenever you're just sitting at home alone, that's not community. If you're playing like video games all the time, that's cool, but only if you're living life outside with those people. If you're playing video games like a little bit, and then you're like, hey, we're actually going to go hang out this weekend, that's community. Whenever it's just you alone in your room at night, but that's not community, okay? Now that we know what it is, I wanted to say community is basic. Community is by far one of the most important things we do as people, like as human beings. And God made us that way. God designed us to need other people around us because in the beginning, God is community. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, God says, let us make mankind in our image. You see, before any of creation existed, before there were people, before there was an earth even, God existed in community. There's God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. He said from the very beginning, hey, we are our own people. There's a whole bunch of theology behind it, but we are community. So then he said, if we want to make in our own image, we therefore have to make other people. It can't just be one single person. It has to be all of us. In Genesis 2, verse 18, the Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone. How many of y'all know the creation story, right? Adam and Eve? Well, at the beginning, there was Adam. God made man out of dust, and he said, now go tend the garden. And then you can imagine what just one single guy working on some sort of like tree or bush or like mowing the lawn. It's sad. It's really lonely, right? It sounds sad. So God said, let's start making other people. So he made him a wife, and then they had kids, and then they had kids, and they eventually filled the earth with people because God knew that was good. Because he knew that we would need community. Whenever you look at like the stats for mental health, what depression looks like, what anxiety looks like, it's almost always whenever they're by themselves, it starts whenever you isolate, whenever you don't have people surround you, your social circle collapses. That's whenever depression rises. That's whenever anxiety rises. Whenever you are at your lowest, I can go ahead and take a guess. It's probably when you don't have people or whenever the people that are around you leave. So we need community. We need people. So what does that look like, right? You're like, Andrew, that's great, but what does that actually mean in my day-to-day life? So I'm going to say that there are 3 points. I'm going to say just 3 really brief points of what community actually should look like. Number 1, it's life-giving. It means that you have fun with your friends. Do y'all have friends that you want to go hang out with? That starting on Monday, you're like, I can't wait till we hang out on Friday. Or friends that you're like, man, I can't wait till Wednesday night whenever I get to go to church and we play basketball, or we, play pool or air hockey or whatever it is. You have friends that you want to be with. Number 1, your friends need to be people that you want to be with. Number 2 is they need to be God-honoring. I'm going to tell you a brief story. Whenever I was in 5th or 6th grade, I had a friend named Billy. Billy was the worst. Billy was genuinely just the worst guy I knew, but every year he had this sleepover birthday party. So we'd all show up to his house, and it started out fine. It started out with We'd play football in his backyard, we'd have dinner, we'd eat the birthday cake, it was great. But then, it was a sleepover, and Billy's family went to bed, and we just had unrestricted access to not only his house, but the whole neighborhood. So pretty much, at midnight, we somehow would crawl out of the window and escape his house, and we just start terrorizing people. Just start yelling at folks, just start screaming. It was bad. And what always happened is that around 2 a.m., remember, these are 5th graders, these are young kids. At around 2 a.m., we would just start a fist fight with each other. It was bad, and not the fun, wrestling match, but just randomly, Billy would look at our other friend, William, and just cold cock. It was bad. And every year I went to that, my mom would pick me up the next day, and I would say, Mom, never send me back there again. That was chaos. They were just cussing for 12 hours straight. There were fist fights, just straight brawls in the street with children. This is the worst. I would wake up the next morning and I would feel so much guilt and shame from just being around it. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't God honoring. At the end of the day, these are not the guys that I still call up today. Me and Billy, we haven't talked in over 10 years. Because that wasn't the community that I wanted to be a part of. They weren't doing anything for me. Which leads me to my last point. Community needs to be challenging. How many of y'all have a friend that you're kind of afraid to tell them good news because you know that they're just gonna not be excited with you? They're gonna be like, man, you're trying too hard. Man, you're doing too much. You gotta cool it off, you gotta chill out. Those aren't people that are challenging. The reason we have leaders in your small groups is A, to have fun because they're just cool people, but B, to challenge you. We want church to be a place where you get to voice your ideas and opinions, and we have leaders that say yes, but also you can do more. Let's take this a step further. Let me show you how to truly live life. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I know you guys in the front row are all slouched back. They're but Andrew, your uncle, you have no idea what it's like to try and make friends in high school and middle school. You have no clue. So I decided to invite some of you guys up. So can I have Ada and Ryan and Cyrus come on up here? Give it up for them, yeah. So you guys are thinking, I truly, Andrew, you're cool and all, but really whatever. So I invited some of these guys up to actually tell us what is community like. Ada, you're in middle school, right?
Yes.
What middle school do you go to?
Centennial.
Centennial. Give it up for Centennial in the crowd. Ada, what is it like to have fun, to have life-giving relationships, life-giving community in middle school?
Well, some of the things that are most important to me in middle school is when you can have deeper conversations with your friends and kind of be very truthful and open with them. And some of the ways that I like those moments with them is sleepovers and hanging out and doing sports and eating food and making food and just all sorts of other fun stuff. And also I can invite them to church and Fishy. And it was 2 weeks ago, I invited my friend Jess to church, and then after we went back to her house, she was really excited to tell her mom all about it. And it was cool to see how the faith brought us closer, and her mom closer. And even if I don't get to invite them, I still get to come here and hang out with all of my friends. And when we go to a small group, I know that my opinion really matters, and that they'll care about what I say, and that makes me feel love because, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ada. What she was saying is that she gets to be vulnerable, she gets to be truthful, but then also she has friends that she gets to go have fun with, whether it's going and cooking and baking things afterwards or hanging out with her friends. Thank you so much. Next up, Ryan. Ryan, what school do you go to?
I go to Fairview.
Ryan, what is it like to have God-honoring friends as a high schooler in Boulder, Colorado at Fairview High School?
I would say it feels pretty good. I mean, especially in sports like football, baseball. I know a lot of us play football here. We kind of like have a group and we become one, like together. Kind of like what Macho was saying. No man should be alone. And when we come together, we're like united, and that helps with like leadership and stuff like that, because we can bring people into places like club like this. And I just feel like it's a great experience to be a part of these clubs, sports activities, all those things.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Give it up for Ryan. All right, last but certainly not least, we got Cyrus. What's going on, Cyrus? Okay, all right. So, Cyrus isn't in middle school or high school. Aww. But he is still younger than me, so he still has a viewpoint on how is it to be challenged. How does your community challenge you as a young adult after high school, as some of us are going into?
I'd say a way my challenge community, actually challenge my community is core group. Like, we get to challenge each other, grow closer to each other and the Lord in a sense, and just we can help each other grow no matter what. No stupid questions no matter what. So, yeah.
He has a group of friends that there are no stupid questions. They're free to push each other with their mind and what their ideas are, how they believe about things, and they're always looking to how to advance their own beliefs. How do they grow their own relationship with Christ? And before I go to smaller groups, I want to just hit on something that I think everyone mentioned without me even like trying to tell them to say this, is bringing your friends here. What I'm trying to say with God-honoring community isn't like, hey, if your friends are doing fist fights in the streets, drop them. Don't hang out with them anymore. Like, absolutely not. What I'm trying to say is, who are the main voices in your life? Who are the people that you're listening to and surrounding yourself by, and are they pushing you to be a better person, or are they taking away from you? And if they're taking away from you, that's not an okay card to just drop them and let them run. No, they need to be here. Like each one of these students said, man, I am excited to invite people to club. I'm excited to invite people to Fishy. There are people at your school, there's community at your school right now that has no idea that this is happening, have no idea that they need to hear these messages, and the only people that are going to be able to reach them to bring that community into ours is you guys. So if y'all have fun here, if y'all enjoy what you hear, and you love like being in small groups and talking to each other, invite your friends. This can't just end in these walls. If your community stops here, it's going to be a sad week. Like it's going to be a long time until next Wednesday. But if y'all are able to bring this to school, talk about this with your friends at school, and then bring them back, I can guarantee time will just be flying by, and we will love to see you every week, and you will love to be here more than you already are.